Seems like we're gonna see 0 bans from the other team as well. Oh, just kidding. There goes Echo.
The broken champion, in my opinion, needs quite a hefty nerf, to be honest. But you know, he's just too safe and too strong, too powerful. Does too much damage. But Ziggs,
sure.
I don't know about the Ziggs man. Ziggs not really in the best of spots. Well, really good wave clear, but can't be taken lightly because if he can get to his mid to late game, he becomes an extremely destructive champion. Same with Nautilus. And Leona, my main, once again, going out. Because a lot of attention does, like, in this league usually gets aimed at bot lane, no matter what, where we see usually like 2 or 3 bot lane bans, like, every single draft. Whether it be ADCs like Kai'Sa, Caitlyn, Miss Fortune, or we see, like, support bans like Pyke, Leona, Nautilus. It's like, it's always a bunch of bot lane centered bans to start out.
Definitely, especially with that dragon. A lot of dragon pushes in this game. It really does help to have a strong bot lane.
It forces a lot of these AD carry players to just not be in it at all. Soraka, who has been confirmed by Riot to be the strongest champion in the game right now. Just a reminder to everybody watching that Iron Dragons did opt not to play this game, and that's one of the reasons why we see the double exhibition team going on here. We also just got Twitch Prime and a little bit of Dreamcast going on here, so it's a congratulations to everybody watching, because it just means that we get to bring more content, more opportunities, and an even better stream to all of you. Sub goal also reached this week at 2, but we do see Draven and Kha'Zix bans also coming out, not to overshadow the goals that we reach here.
Oh, we're gonna see a set play.
Which I'm assuming Soraka's gonna actually be possibly the AD carry somewhere in the bot lane.
Yeah. Seems like we're gonna see a Soraka support.
Unless Set's jungling, which is completely possible. There's a lot of flexibility between those champions right there.
Definitely.
With a Nami pick to round out the first set of bans, so we will see Nami Draven in the bot lane, a very powerful bot lane, meaning that Draven can walk up and pretty much run anybody down at level 2. I don't know if there are a lot of bot lanes that can match that, actually, unless they're running a like a Leona Nautilus, which are both banned.
Yeah, definitely not. With both of these support bans going down, it's very hard to counter a Draven Nami.
But we do see Soraka, so it could be, if it's Soraka Caitlyn, and they can at least kite him out pretty well. So it'll be interesting to see how the bot lane plays out. But the Veigar Thresh ban's coming out. I don't know if either team has plays Veigar. If Blue side plays Veigar, but
I always find him really annoying to play against, especially mid to late game, when not even when his stacks fully turn online, but just when the cage is like, oh yeah, we're just gonna sit here for like 7 seconds and stun everybody.
Yeah, definitely. The cage puts so much pressure, especially in team fights where you can isolate a lot of people with that big cage range. It's very strong.
It also sets up wombos really well, so like a Draven ultimate or a Nami ultimate would work really well in that situation too. Or since they're running away, it would actually be more so on the side of not really any wombos there, aside from the Soraka E, so that anybody inside the cage just can't use abilities. But the Ornn ban coming out means that a lot of late game is taken away, but in terms of straight up itemization. But it seems as though a Vladimir pick is still going to guarantee a nice late game, because that champion is also really strong when it comes to the mid to late game.
Definitely.
we see an Orianna mid, which all but guarantees if that's locked in, will guarantee the fact that it's Caitlyn's Soraka bot lane.
Yeah, we'll know in this last pick.
And
Yep, so that will
Gary's
be
top.
Cleveland's Soraka bot lane. Fortunately, we won't see like Soraka top this game, but still excited to see what they can pull off.
And Kale, who Kennen. And both of these champions can flex into either top or mid, so we don't know which. We'll see which is which, but probably the Vladimir in the top lane or the mid lane actually. I would say to out sustain the Orianna. But with Orianna's wave clear, it's going to be very difficult for Vladimir or Kennen to really match her wave clear. So we'll see if the Orianna can get some good roams off, or even if anybody really can get some good roams off, because I'm expecting to see some high action gameplay with no tanks really. Just two bruisers on the side of blue.
For sure, not being able to see much tanks is gonna really make the game kill heavy. The other team on the red side is gonna have to really go for those picks and those hard engages.
It's gonna snowball really hard too if one team gets a pretty sizable lead. I think it would be a crime to not mention that Feral Hogs is actually playing in this game. Although I did mention earlier that he was, it's just I felt it is important to mention that he's been out for a couple weeks, so we haven't seen him play in a couple weeks. Yet he was also the most voted ADC for the All-Star game, despite missing a couple weeks. Last week I had posed the question, Jinja, of what if you were to live in Runeterra anywhere, where would you reside? Whether it be the Shadow Isles, Demacia, Piltover, Ionia.
I think I'd definitely be a Piltover kind of guy. Steampunk and that kind of stuff is so cool.
Yeah, I think Monochrome put me in Demacia. I'm pretty sure Monochrome put me in Demacia. I can't remember if it was either Demacia or Ionia he put me in. But,
oh really?
Yeah, it was really funny. And he said, and I remember Monochrome said that he would reside from the Shadow Isles for sure. Because the
the Shadow Isles is a very scary place to live.
Yeah, and I figured, because although I do value a lot of what Demacia has to offer, I always get stuck in between Demacia and Ionia in the first place, because those are the two places like I could see myself coming from. Or no, it was Mount Targon was the other one. It was Mount Targon and Demacia. It was Mount Targon and Demacia. I remember now. So I was trying to remember what I said last week, but I guess since then I thought about it a little bit more and found myself also kind of getting into the Ionian lifestyle.
Right.
But definitely Mount Targon is up there, because becoming an aspect of Targon, becoming a deity, so to speak, is kind of right up my alley.
Huh.
Right alongside Pantheon and Aurelion Sol and Zoe.
Right.
But I also want to know where our viewers think that they would come from. Feel free to slot that in the chat. And to also give a quick shout out to you guys.
Yeah, if you guys are enjoying the games, enjoying what we're producing at ALS, just drop a follow. It really helps us out. And you can be part of the crew. Alright, we're just booting up into game now. Very excited to see what kind of gameplay we get out of this.
I want to see the high action, high kill game. I want to see 100 kills this game.
100 kills.
Something ridiculous. 50 kills both sides.
I'd be very excited for that too.
Come down to the wire on who can assassinate who. Although there's no assassins on this on Blue's team, so that'll be interesting to see any assassins if there are any assassins. But I think it's fine. I'm ready to see. I think the focus should really be on this bot lane, with Soraka being quote unquote the most broken champion in the game, and then you've got
For sure.
Draven Nami to kind of run him down if needed. I don't. Do you see any interesting rune choices here today? Anything out of the ordinary?
Nope.
I don't know about that Halo Blades Kha'Zix though. That's kind of
Yeah,
the one I was eyeing.
completely just missed me.
Because most people opt for like Electrocute or Dark Harvest. Some even opt for Conquer from time to time, but because of the sheer AD on that. But
Yeah, especially since Kha'Zix doesn't really scale with his auto attacks. He gets that one proc auto at the start, and then the next you don't really proc anything, which is why it'll be very interesting to see what Halo Blades can do.
I want to see how that works out. Like really, I really want to see how that works out. But otherwise, we see pretty much standard across the board, except for the lack of a teleport on red side. But Kennen opted for the Conqueror, which I've actually seen a couple times in a couple of my ranked games. It's not a traditional thing that you see pretty often, but he's able
For
to.
sure.
I'm assuming that that's going to be top lane Kennen, who can stack it with relative ease just by poking him down. And especially if you get like those empowered auto procs with the W, it ends up stacking pretty quickly.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay, game's up.
All right, just booting in now.
This game well underway. Will we see the famed 5-point start from either of these exhibition teams? It does it.
Seems like. Oh, we're actually getting something
we're actually
very.
seeing the 5-point start.
It was there for a brief second. That was very nice. Oh, we're gonna see
what
the
happens when
invade
you
coming in
5-point
from
start. You
Blue's
can
side.
see everything. You can see everything. It looks like they're gonna. Oh, first the apprehend
We see
landing
that
on and the
grab coming in
root.
from Yord. Angeloid having the
Snap.
flash out of that.
Angeloid definitely able to sit there. And after flashing away, but that is a huge cooldown, and Soraka starting E is not exactly the first way to go.
He replaced white. So we're gonna see a leashless blue start on Atarak.
Which probably isn't ideal. I wouldn't say that's ideal.
Definitely not ideal as a Kha'Zix, but like you'll take a lot of damage in this.
But otherwise, we do see pretty much standard starts in every other spot. I'm not sure why we or why the red team opted not to hard leash the Kha'Zix, but the XP difference between the ADC and support on red is going to be apparent with very soon.
Definitely.
Not anything too significant. Looks like a little trade going in. Flash being preemptively burned from EndangeredEmo.
Oh, we're gonna see an engage coming down in bot lane. Where do we go at an Angeloid engaging very hard? And Feral Hogs and Monochrome are now low and pushed into their tower. It'll be interesting to see if they might overpush something.
Yeah, and with no jungler on the bot side, it's not. It means that there's going to be no assistance here for a while to the blue side bot lane.
So Yord's doing very well against this matchup on EndangeredEmo. Kennen isn't a easy person to play against, especially with his ranged poke and being able to stun and get out of everything.
Oh, looks like he does not have the apprehend to put any more damage onto Emo, but Emo's looking like he may have to back here. The flash apprehend is there.
Oh, flash apprehend coming right away into the queue. And it seems EndangeredEmo will be going down. Very nice play by Yord. Oh, and in the bot lane we see, where do we go? Getting the double kill. That's very big for Draven, being able to cash out on his stacks.
Because he's got well into a BF sword now with those 2 kills with 600. Despite not having it be first blood, the double kill still is too much. We see Sushi Man down here trying to see if he can possibly pick them up, but he was spotted out by the ward here, so I think the red team bot lane will back. Where did we go on Angeloid opting here? And it seems as though Emo is still trying to fight up here, but I don't think
EndangeredEmo trying to do something with that item advantage. Unfortunately, not able to, instead getting chunked down very hard. Will be going down to Yord's Q bleed.
Bot lane, mid lane matchup seems to be going slightly in the favor of LittleGawa, who does play in the league, to remind everybody, with almost a 10 CS lead going into the next wave. But seems Kawaii is looking to put vision in for this dragon to make sure that it isn't being soloed right about now. And Anarok is here in the top side, which is heading in the same direction as Sushi. So there might end up being a fight.
Yeah, we might see a little jungle skirmish coming in.
Spotted out by the scrying orb. Uh-oh, he's walking right into it. I guess he just doesn't care.
Oh, missing that E. Having to flash out.
He also doesn't have the haymaker yet.
Oh, just an auto attack off from killing Sushi Man.
I don't know. Sushi Man's haymaker was up by the time that went out. Bot lane dive happening.
Dive coming in. Where do we go? Getting the kill. Not going down a tower. Feral Hog seems like he wants to poke.
Oh,
and another kill going for. Where do we go? Just an absolute domination in bot lane by where do we go on Angeloid?
Feral Hogs probably thought he could take him down if he could get some abilities down underneath the tower, but it stepped up a little bit too far. Top lane, another fight going down, and
you're going in very hard, getting the kill, being able to heal off that Q, and not dying to that ignite. Looks like Yord's very confident in his champion.
Dragon is being taken. Anarok, knowing that his bot lane is still here and able to assist him if needed, will although the mana on both of those champions not very high.
Still going for that first Infernal Dragon. Blue team had no clue that was happening.
Mid lane, looks like some poke going down, being traded back and forth, but nothing too serious. The CS lead being evened up quite a bit, and Kawaii able to land an empowered Q on LittleGawa's Orianna. Vladimir just flashing directly onto the Orianna, just doesn't even care about this tower.
Yeah, Kawaii just really trying to get in. LittleGawa being able to get that ult off, almost killing Kawaii. And it looks like all of blue teams now coming in, trying to catch out Kawaii.
He's been dead oh, the flash smite auto coming from Sushi over the wall.
It's actually a very good play, especially since Vladimir was almost close to being able to just execute himself.
Now, Death
Oh, we're
Kawaii,
going to see an engage at bot lane with where do we go, going in for really targeting for Feral Hogs here. Getting trapped in the turret range.
missing the apprehend actually. Anorak here to catch this mid wave, but is looking a little low. I don't think he'll be able to hold that.
Oh, we're seeing another engage by Yord up top. EndangeredEmo popping that ult, but not being able to get out of that. It's very interesting to see which one will come out, especially since Yord on the top lane for blue team is very far ahead, but then bot lane on the red team is also very far ahead.
Yordle going down to Anorak, who happened to be up here, and taking the shutdown, which is a huge shutdown. 700 gold swing to Anorak, which means he should be able to impact the rest of the map with that.
Definitely. We do see a 2v1. Where do we go? Might be looking for some kills here. Seem.
Where did we go? Has played in exhibition matches before, and he's still able to put out in commanding fashion in this game here.
Oh, we're gonna see a little counter jungle by Anorak, taking a lot of Sushi Man's jungle on the top. So we're seeing another engage by Yord coming in, getting the apprehend. Just being able to really just auto attack EndangeredEmo down.
Bot lane.
Oh yeah, where do we
Soraka
go?
ultimate forced out here, but unable. It doesn't look like anything is gonna come out of any of this. Just some summer spells blown. And
So we do see
Anorak
Anorak
is
looking for a
looking
gank against LittleGawa. We'll be able to see anything come out. DeathKawaii being able to get the hemorrhage down. Popping that stopwatch. Oh, we're seeing a little dive coming in from where do we go at bot lane. Getting the kill on Monochrome. It's very dominating performance by the bot lane on the red team. Going for a lot of hard dives. So we do see Sushi Man having used Haymaker, using. Will be going down.
Despite having the ultimate, it wasn't enough damage to prevent
No.
Kawaii from pulling.
So
the rest
you're
of his
getting the
damage.
kill on EndangeredEmo with that bleed damage.
And the first tower. That is a grand total of 6 kills and almost a 4,000 gold lead for between the top laners.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate. EndangeredEmo with that 19 CS right now, having to have a lot to catch back up to make it back into the game. Seems like Anorak is having down bot side for this second Dragon.
Oriana, despite having died, is actually still ahead of the Vladimir, of Kawai's Vladimir here by about 100 gold. The Whirling Death comes from across the map, doesn't seem to even come close to hitting Yordle. But Dragon is up again, and Anorak is looking to take it. But
Definitely, but Sushiman and the rest of bot lane is counter-reacting to that. LittleGawa looks like he's ready to rotate down. Starting to rotate down. XDeathkawaii is a bit late to this rotate. They might be able to catch out something here. Oh, they might get LittleGawa instead. Kazak's jumping in.
The Shockwave is used, and Gawa dodging every skill shot in the book except for the Tidal Wave. He's forced to flash away and still goes down to where did we go's Draven. Auto attack after auto attack after heavy auto attack is being pulled out by where did we go. But Anorak is
no one being
also
able to
take
down. Yord coming in very hot. Getting the ult on, getting that cooldown reduction. Feral Hogs is able to get a kill here.
3 seconds on the apprehend, but it's not going to be up soon enough. So it is a 2-for-3 trade in favor of the red team. But it seems as though the Vladimir looks like he wanted to keep going.
XDeathkawaii going in very hard. Unfortunately, going down to Yordle. Feral Hogs having a pop flash. That was a very intensive team fight that happened just there.
EndangeredEmo finally able to find some farm for himself with nobody up here. But the Dragon's still on the table, and so is Rift Herald. But Anorak and Draven, who both had shutdowns in that fight. Both? Anorak's going to Darius, and where did we go is going to Feral Hogs. Evens up the gold lead a decent amount, but not really enough. There's
we see it. Anorak just chunking down that Dragon. That isolate Q damage is so strong.
Not to mention the 45% cooldown on it if the target's isolated. Because it is quite a bit. A 100% increase to the damage if the target's isolated, and a 45% cooldown reduction on hit.
Definitely very strong. We are going to see a little rotate coming from LittleGawa and Sushiman coming down. Trying to get that bot lane. Unfortunately getting spotted out by that Tribush ward.
Kawaii not really with any vision here. Pushes up to the tower and looks to trade with Gawa.
Ooh.
Shockwave burn. This pool's still available. Both
so we do see Anorak coming in from behind. But Yordle's also here. Try to do something.
Anorak able to juke away, but I don't know if it'll be enough with the blue smite coming from Sushiman, and now definitely burning. He's burning. He's burning, but he's able to find the blast cone over the wall.
Is able to get away with that blast cone.
But now it looks like Emo is in trouble, not paying any kind of attention. Runs right into Yordle. And it doesn't look like he's going to be able to get away. Popping the ultimate, not nearly enough.
No, Yordle's just putting too much... Just outputting way too much damage on that Triforce first item. So we do see Sushiman doing a little counter jungling. Anorak and Sushiman right next to each other, they don't even know it.
Bot turret is taken.
So where do we go? Just getting that bot turret, looking for these kills here.
But it's not enough. Oh, it is actually with the slows coming in from the Nami ultimates, but Draven, where did we go with Draven? Respecting the tower. I was hoping to see a little bit more Tyler 1 there, just going into the tower.
We do see top tower going down for red team. Yordle and Sushiman just being able to chunk that down without much opposing force.
with a kill score of 14 to 13 in favor of blue. The gold is about even actually, and that's a lot of it with the struggle that happened in top lane. But it seems as though blue team is looking towards this Rift Herald. It started up, and there aren't any members who can contest their Rift Herald on the top side of the map, but will they send anybody down? In the mid lane, seems like Gabo spotting out the red team there to make sure he doesn't get picked off here. And Anorak is counter jungling instead.
So we do see Anorak just counter jungling very hard, being like exerting his jungle dominance in this.
Up about 20, a little over 20 CS, and has a kill over Sushi, but Sushi is still
Monochrome
trying his best to keep it down.
Oh.
Monochrome opting to back, and all of 3 members of red team are here in this mid lane. But it seems like Gawa's wave clear is too much for them to push
Definitely,
into.
Orion is just so good at wave clearing. It's hard to turtle against her.
Flash burned out from where did we go? Shockwave to avoid the shockwave. And it
Do you
seems
see
as though
Angel
everybody's just trying to run.
Double flash by Sushiman and Yordle, getting the
Able
kill and the shutdown on where do we go.
Flash burn from Kawaii, and yet sidelined from Emo.
We do see EndangeredEmo coming in from the sidelines. Unfortunately, will be going down to Sushiman, with red team not able to follow up on that much on that engage.
Uh-oh, Ghost Burn from Yordle, unable to find the apprehend onto anybody.
So we do see that Rift popped in the mid lane. They're really going for this turret.
You can't really defend it with the mid tower going down, and it seems like the second one might go with it, with the Rift Herald slamming into that one as well. Bubble landing onto Yordle, unable to capitalize on it. The Whirling Death goes out, but I am not sure who it was for.
So they're gonna do another little dance around the dragon.
Although with Monochrome not nearly a full HP, almost, it's pretty low actually, might be difficult for them to fight it back. The Shockwave only finds its way under where do we go?
LittleGawa is also very low on mana here. Gonna be a very interesting fight. Going down, Monochrome going down to XDeathkawaii. Wow. Barrel Hogs with a really nice play going that flash E.
Ooh. And then the fight finishing off with, or not even finishing off, but Kawaii was able to pick off Yordle, but it seems like Angeloid, without any mana on either the mid laner, he might just be able to auto him down. Oh, opting not paying attention to the mana. There was not enough mana for Gaba to throw another Q at her.
We will see the dragon going to most likely red side. Blue side doesn't seem like they will get there in time to contest this.
That would have been hilarious if
Soraka.
If the Star Call stole the dragon. But with the 10% CDR on the ultimates across the board on red team, it's going to be amazing. Because 10% is a lot, first off, and second off, they all have really pretty long cooldowns. All of them are over a minute long, except for the Void Assault and Kha'Zix. And having a Nami ultimate on a minute cooldown or shorter is usually, I think it gets to like 50, 55 seconds about. So having it even shorter than that at level 16 is going to be massive if the game goes that long.
Definitely. Still a very close game. Very equal gold on both teams.
Bubble landing on Tagawa as well as the tidal wave.
Anorak getting the kill on Monochrome almost immediately.
Is just
Very nice
complete
engage
disruption.
by Angeloid in that case.
Angeloid landing the bubble and then turning it into the tidal wave, which knocked up Feral Hogs as well. Just allowed for everything to line up perfectly with all of the red team members here in the mid lane.
So we're gonna see that first turret going down in the mid lane for blue team. Yordle going
The
in for a
apprehend
hard
there.
engage, getting that 3-man apprehend.
But it causes
Yordle will
the
be
death
going
of
down to that constant damage of Draven. Going in for Sushi Man too. Being able to get the kill. Getting
Sushi
out of that.
Man even
Very
ulted for
well
where to
played
go, but
by the red
not
team.
even close, as he would say with Angeloid's heal. Angeloid's heal plus the straight up lifesteal that this Draven has already, with not only a full Bloodthirster but also an extra Vamp Scepter as well. And of course with the Storm Razor and the Nami Tidecaller Blessing, it's just there's no way to run away from Draven if he can land an auto, if he can get close enough to auto you.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest things with Draven is he just has so much catch potential, and being able to just run up to someone and kill them, very strong.
And Deathkawaii just running down Soraka.
And Anorak being very close to dying here. Anorak
Man.
will die.
Oh my god. I guess they're just
Where
gonna
do we
leave
go?
the
Just
Baron.
going for these kills, not caring about Baron in this case. Will be dying to Yordle with that flash Q into the ult. That's so unfortunate,
team.
especially with that Baron being very low.
Red team not opting to focus down this Baron. It was very close to being finished, but leaving Anorak there was... I don't know if that was the move.
So Yordle will be going for another kill on EndangeredEmo. EndangeredEmo having a pop flash. Seems like he's not able to get out. Not having boots really makes a big effect on EndangeredEmo.
Despite all this, there's only a 2,000 gold lead for Red team. But their gold is spread out across their team, whereas Blue side's gold is predominantly on Yordle.
Anorak going in very hard. Might be able to catch out LittleGawa in this case. Fortunately, not able to catch up. We do see 4 members of the blue side now here. With Yordle coming in from behind. Missing that apprehend. Getting that vision up for that dragon.
Are here in this mid to bot jungle. So we will see.
Yeah, blue side definitely can't give up this dragon, otherwise that soul will be taken for the red side.
And that's going to be a lot of move speed for the Kennen to just be able to walk in, and for anybody else to just kite anyone out, especially for the Vladimir. He pops his ultimate, he's going to be a speedy blood demon.
So Sushi Man is popping Ghost in this case. Have Flash getting the kill on Anorak. Very nice.
With a return kill onto Monochrome.
That does alleviate some pressure for that dragon because now the red side is down a flash. Or a smite. Where do we go? Coming in from behind, looking for these kills from the back.
Yordle not even close to killing XDeathkawaii Vladimir, who's healing way too much. And blue side is just getting routed. And Deathkawaii just is going to run down Sushi, especially with the help of the Tidecaller Blessing from Nami.
Getting the kill ace for the red side. And they will get the soul off this.
There is an opportunity for Baron with 3 members down, but does red team opt for it is the question. Because Anorak is back on the map, and a 4,000 gold lead for red team that needs to be spent.
We do see the ping
2,000.
by Anorak pinging onto that Baron. Seems like they are.
Seems like they are going to
rotate a bit upwards.
A little late in my opinion, seeing as how Sushi is up, or Sushi's about to be up, but I don't think they'll get here in time regardless.
No, that isolation damage is just chunks it down so hard. And then with that Draven being very fed, this Baron will just go uncontested for the red side.
So with every neutral objective in control on the red side and the 5,000 gold lead for the red team, it's not looking too great. Yeah, how do you think blue team is gonna have to play this game to turn this back around?
Definitely just going to be having to go for those picks on that Draven. They can't let that Draven scale more. And then having to focus a lot of Vladimir. It seems that we do see that Executioner's calling coming from Feral Hogs on the blue side, but other than that, we probably will need a lot more Grievous Wounds.
Yeah, Vladimir has reached his 3, like most of the champions have reached a 3-item power spike, so it's going to be extremely difficult to keep the healing off, especially with Nami with a Redemption and Ardent Sensor to heal, to prevent all this healing.
Kawhi playing very dominantly, going in very hard for this 3-man.
Doesn't even matter.
Just that damage is absolutely
so much
insane.
damage. It's 1v3.
Being able to get a LittleGawa popping that Zanya is a bit too
Sushi
late.
was able to save his life, but it doesn't seem to matter because there's just not enough damage to stop him.
Kawhi just going in for all of
doing
these.
damage.
Just really just diving Sushi Man.
Pull back up and is able to kill him underneath these towers. Is like Vladimir.
Just
That's a level
domination.
16. That is a level 16 Vladimir with 3 items.
And we do see that top turret going down with where do we go getting the kill on Yordle. So inhibitor will be falling. It seems like Deathkawaii is just really going in for that poke again. Able to get another tower in the top lane.
Looking towards the top tower, grouped up on the red side with Vladimir splitting bot. And not really being contested for this.
Very little that can blue team do anything in this case.
The shockwave landing, but what does that mean? Taking Angeloid out a little bit, but should be able to heal that back up. Flash Q.
Oh, we do see a hard engage coming down by Yordle.
And a huge haymaker coming from Sushi will actually turn the fight in their favor. But it doesn't matter because Deathkawaii is just way too powerful and has way too much damage and healing for them to deal with.
Yeah, that damage on Deathkawaii and the heal, very hard to play against.
Vladimir just looks like a 1v5 champion here.
And we will see this win going to red side.
That fight was looking pretty good for the blue team. But
Definitely
it was like as soon as especially with that huge haymaker doing about 600 damage to all 4 members who were standing there, it was it didn't even matter because between the healing and just Vladimir coming in for the flank, it was way too much. Way too much.
Definitely. And just a gold spread on that red side was just a lot more even, being able to put a lot of gold on everyone and thus making it hard to focus one person who's scaling.
It also doesn't seem like there's really any magic resist to prevent Vladimir. Like there's no magic resist and there's no not really any healing reduction to prevent to deal with Vladimir at all.
Definitely, we definitely should have been able to see a little Morello Nomicon maybe. That could have alleviated something.
Yordle. But can see if we can get an interview with one of these guys, preferably, hopefully on Where Did We Go or Deathkawaii, who
Hello.
Hello. We're able to retrieve Where Did We Go, it seems.
I'm here.
So run me through that game. Like, what was going through your mind? Like, at the beginning of the game, where you're walking down in this bot lane and you come out of the lane like what? Was it 6-0, 4-0?
Yeah, roughly.
Something ridiculous.
Yeah. I don't know. You just play like any Draven game. Heavy aggro, not being afraid to go in and take, go underneath turret, stuff like that. Just like, I don't know. what I feel like
So
is pretty standard Draven gameplay.
I felt like there were like just from the spectator's point of view, I thought that there were a couple of more situations where you would have been able to dive. But walking into the mid to late game, like what was the team atmosphere looking like with the 0-6 Kennen?
The 0-6 Kennen did complicate things because Darius is obviously a strong champ that you don't want to get strong. But it is what it is. I won my lane, and then I was just going to try and transmit that win over to mid lane a little bit. But I did notice that, obviously Vlad was popping off, so I didn't really have to do much anymore because my job was done. I won the early game. I knew I wasn't going to be relevant anymore towards like later game because he was just going to be able to do all the cleaning up. So I just wanted to try and take as much focus as I possibly could. Being in the front line, playing super aggro, hopefully that they would focus me down, then have Vladimir clean up everything, which is exactly what happened.
Especially opting for the triple BF swords,
Yeah,
like triple
yeah,
BF sword
exactly.
items.
I was just trying
So,
to, if I could pick somebody off, somebody who's on their front line, I would usually try and go for it. But mostly I was just trying to draw attention onto me, and then hopefully that the Vlad would be able to pick up.
mm-hmm. So, and then at the end of the game, like when take me through that last team fight where you guys were all underneath that not underneath it, but at the top inhib where Vlad was able to get a really good flank off.
Oh, that looked like really bad for a second. We took a ton of damage, and obviously we all got flashed on, so we were all clumped. It looked really bad for a second, but Ori had already used ult, and then Vlad just coming in and doing disgusting, unspeakable things, and just wiping the field. So
It sounds good. Thank you for coming in and allowing us to interview you for this game.
of course, anytime.
And
Right.
but that is going to do it for the third game of the day here for the ALS, which was a double exhibition, a full-on exhibition between two exhibition teams. So we are going to go to break, but when we come back, we do have one last game for you between Endgame and what was that? Between Endgame and Nancy Drew Crew. And both of these teams are kind of fighting for the number 2 seed, so it'll be a good an important match going forward. So, without further ado, we'll see you after break.